Well, hello there. My name is HW. Thank you so much for watching Tone Junkie TV. Let's talk about thicker tone. You know, sometimes I sit down and I get a great, lovely guitar tone, like I'm getting through this this beautiful 1964 Guild Starfire. It's a 5? It's a Starfire 5. It's beautiful. Look at this thing. Come on, man. What is? I mean, this is one of those ones I pulled off Reverb, and it showed up, and it had been at George Gruen's, and he had just worked his magic on it because it sounds tremendous. And it plays, I love the way it sounds like a Guild, but it plays so beautifully, and it's got all this, look at that wear right there. Look at that beautiful wear. Look at that on the Kemper cam there. Woo, look at that beautiful wear. All right, it sounds great. It is great. I'm playing it through the 68 Pro Plexi V2J3. If you haven't checked that out, definitely check that out. But what's interesting is these pickups, Guild is kind of like the other American guitar company. And they often get forgotten. They don't quite have the same amount of mid-range as, you know, their sort of their distant cousin, the Gibson. And so you get these wonderful tones. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. You get the same out of the middle. And of course the bridge. Funny, these are not humbucking pickups. I guess at the time these pickups came out, they didn't want to be seen as like a Gibson copy, so they called them anti-hum pickups. Anti-hum pickups. So you could put some. They're a little bit different than the like a P90 or a mini humbucker size. So it's a little hard to fit retro pickups in here, and because of that, I think they go for pretty good prices for used instruments. I don't really know what these go for anymore. But let's say this guitar sounds lovely, but we just want to thicken it up because we wanted to get more of that Gibby, Les Paul-y kind of thing. The problem is this thing has a little too much high end and not quite enough mid-range, you know? Sounds killer, but let's thicken it up a little bit. Check this out. Thicker, bigger, kind of woollier. Here's it back by itself again. Here's with a little thickener added. Uncle Willie, that is some tone, man. Seriously, that is a good sound. Okay, check this out. Here's all I'm doing here. Jump to this Kemper cam real quick. I'm on the, you can see I've been editing the cut the mix, but really that was just my starting point. Actually, I changed every value, so don't be deceived. What we're doing is we're taking down on page 1, we're taking down the low gain, 1.5 decibels, and we have that low frequency dialed into 200. So everything below 200 we're taking out some bass, right? So everything on this shelf here, the high frequency is set to 5015, and we're bringing that down 3 decibels. That's kind of aggressive, but what we're trying to do is really get some of the high end out so that we can make room for this, the mid-range 2.8 decibel boost at 500 hertz, 500 3.5 here because it's hard to dial it in exactly, and I'm at the standard Q of 0.707. And then over here we've got a 2.6 decibel boost at 1000. So we're boosting at 500 and 1000 hertz to get our mid-range. We're doing nothing with the cuts, no volume boost, but I probably am boosting a little more than I'm cutting, not to a huge degree, but definitely the mid-range is gonna make us forward and out there and cutty a little more, really just mid-rangey, you know, that kind of thing. And it's gonna make it sound again like this without and a little more thick, a little more humbuckery sound. You know, you try something on the neck and it's gonna sound, it's gonna be different. But let's say you want to do something a little warmer on the neck. The neck in this guitar is pretty warm, so with no boost at all, it kind of sounds like this. Now with the boost, little thickener kind of thing. I mean, to me, they both sound lovely. They both sound gorgeous even. I would say gorgeous. They sound great, but it's just a little more what vibe you're going for. For me on the bridge, I definitely want that thickness. On the neck though, I kind of am a little partial to without it, because maybe I don't want all that mid-range there. I want a little more. I got enough warmth. I needed a little more of the bell-like highs to come back, you know? That's just, I don't know, to me that's that's a good tone. That is just a good tone. I don't know what to tell you. Hey, this thickener is going to be available on the website. It's on the Kemper tips and tricks section of the website. It's a profile that you've gotten before, but I'll just throw in this little guy here. It's a kind of a thickener, and it's a thickener I use for this guitar. And I'll just tell you, different frequencies are going to be used with different guitars. I'm using on this one 500 and 1000. Let me turn that on so you can see it. I'm using this 500 and 1000 500, there's 1,000, and then obviously I'm cutting, you know, at 200 and 5,000. That's probably okay if you just want to take off some lows and take off some highs on the guitar. That's probably okay, but these mid-range, this stuff, and if you want to boost or cut, you know, that's all going to be determined by the setup. This guitar is a little bit unique. I don't know how many people out there have Guild Starfires from the 60s. You know, I don't know, probably not a lot of people. Lucky me. But what I'm saying is, you know, if you got a different guitar, it's not like this is a foolproof, always use these frequencies. It's not like that. I'm also using the 68 Purple Plexi V2 J3, which has, you know, a good amount of highs and lows already in it. So that's playing into it too. And what's happening here is, you know, I can afford to add the mid-range, you know? There you go. I've been HW. Thanks so much for watching Tone Junkie TV. HW, out.